brandy, Jared.
Oh, I don't think so, Jim. After a dinner like that, the best brandy in the world would be an anticlimax.
Oh, that's what I don't understand.
What's that?
Well, you two went to the same law school together, but Jim never pays me compliments like that.
Oh?
Well, I must plead mitigating circumstances, my love. After all, I am your husband.
A very poor defense, Mr. Scanlon. I suggest you get yourself a good lawyer. You will have some coffee, won't you, Jared?
Yes, please. Well, what's all this? Little homework?
The Cunningham case.
Oh, yes. Well, I'd say from the looks of this, you finally got something on him.
I have. Receipts, affidavits, depositions. I can prove his men dynamited the Collier Dam. Everything there points to the fact that his motive was to buy up the flooded farms cheap.
That sounds a little like an opening address to a jury.
It might be. And this time, there's going to be no tampering with the jury, no bribery of witnesses, no falsifying evidence. This time, Mr. Joshua T. Cunningham is going to find out that he is not above the law. He is going to prison, Jared.
You go after him like that in court, and I'll bet on you. But you know, Jim, I'm curious about one thing.
What's that, Jared?
Well, Cunningham and his lawyer are no fools. They know you're the best prosecuting attorney in California. I'm surprised they haven't moved for a change of venue.
They did. Judge Farnham denied the motion. It's beginning to dawn on Mr. Cunningham that the days of the freebooters in this state are over.
I hope you're right.
Would you excuse me?
Thank you.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Miss Ivy.
Hello, Mr. Gaines. Come in.
Hello, Audrey.
Is Jared home?
Yes, he's in the library.
Hello, Howard. How are you?
As well as could be expected after what happened to Jim Scanlon the other night.
Yes. Jim was gifted and honest. Two things Cunningham couldn't cope with. Except with a shotgun.
How is Mrs. Scanlon?
Well, she went up to Sacramento to stay with her sister.
Mother went with her, so she wouldn't have to travel alone.
Well, Howard, sit down.
We're about to have lunch. Will you join us?
No, thank you, Audrey. Well, to get to the point of my visit. As you know, it's my job as chairman of the County Board of Supervisors to appoint an acting district attorney to replace Jim Scanlon until an election can be called.
That shouldn't be difficult.
Well, under ordinary circumstances, I'd appoint Mark Bromley. He was Scanlon's assistant for 2 years. He's acquainted with the work of the office. But
what?
Bromley's young, inexperienced. He's never prosecuted a case on his own. Cunningham's lawyer would tear him to pieces and feed him to the jury, one bite at a time. I guess you know why I'm here.
I think you underestimate Mark. He's young. He's smart and clever. He has the advantage of having helped Jim prepare the Cunningham case. He knows it inside and out.
And he also knows Cunningham. And he's scared.
Well, then there must be other lawyers.
None as qualified as you are, Jared. Once you served as assistant district attorney.
Yes, and I was about the same age that Mark is now, and just as scared. Believe me, he'll get over it.
Jared,
No, Audra.
how can you say no? Jim was your best friend.
And that's exactly why I won't prosecute Cunningham.
I don't understand.
If Cunningham's lawyer is as smart as I think he is, he's going to try and convince that jury that I'm not prosecuting his client because he blew up Collier Dam, but because I'm trying to avenge the death of a friend. He'll pose Cunningham as the victim of some kind of personal vendetta and probably get away with it.
I don't think that's valid, Jared.
Neither do I. The jury will judge the facts.
Maybe, and maybe not. I don't intend to take the gamble.
All right, Jared. All I could do was try. Audra?
Jared, who
I've
else?
made my decision, Audra.
All right. I just hope you don't regret it.
Come in, Jared. I hope you don't mind if we made ourselves at home. Mason had a key that happened to fit the lock. Sit down, Jared.
What do you want?
Well, I've got a problem, Jared. The State Land Office is starting hearings next week in Sacramento on a new open range policy. Now, I'm interested in getting my views before the board. As you know, I'm stuck here in Stockton because of this stupid dynamiting charge the state has against me. It occurred to me that I could hire you to represent me in Sacramento. Hearings will last 4 or 5 weeks. Make it worth your while.
Get out of here, Cunningham.
$1,000 a week and expenses. How's that sound?
Get out.
Too busy to take the job.
I'm always busy. You'll get a bill for that.
That's enough, Carell. There's talk around town you may be appointed acting district attorney.
Is there?
I heard Howard Gaines was out to your place yesterday. I asked you to take the job.
Remarkable how you keep your ear to the ground.
I assume you accepted.
You know, you could have saved yourself this masterful attempt to buy me off.
What?
I turned Gaines down.
I think you made a very wise decision, John. Whatever you may think of my offer to represent me before the land office, it still stands. It's yours if you change your mind.
I think I just did.
What?
Changed my mind.
What?
You're much too anxious to have an inexperienced assistant like Mark Bromley prosecute your case. So I'm going to be in that courtroom when your trial opens. And I'm not going to let up on you until I put a rope around that rotten throat of yours for the murder of Jim Scanlon. Now, for the last time, get out.
Well, now, I'll be looking for that bill from you, Barkley. You'll get paid.
Sure don't make noise like they used to.
I hadn't noticed.
It's a fact. It is a fact.
Well, now, that's fascinating information. Nick, do you mind?
Oh, I understand. Oh, it chips all over the place here. Yeah, that's better. Oh, sure don't make knives like they used to.
They also don't make desks like they used to. Look, Nick, why don't you go get something to eat?
I'm not hungry.
What do you mean you're not hungry? You're always hungry.
All right.
I'll get it.
Who is it?
Mark Bromley.
Here, Mark.
Hi, Nick. Evening, Jared.
Hello, Mark. Glad you could make it.
Here's the last of Mr. Scanlon's file on the Cunningham case.
Thanks.
If there's anything more I can do, don't hesitate to let me know.
Mark. I kind of feel I should apologize for taking this case.
Apologize? Why?
Well, it would have been quite a chance for you to make a name for yourself.
It's a great chance for me to fall flat on my face, too. The important thing is to get Joshua Cunningham, Jared. Maybe I could have. Maybe he isn't good enough. I know you can.
Thanks, Mark.
Good night.
Here, Mark.
Good night.
Howdy.
Oh, now, this is too much.
What'd I say?
Look, one well-intentioned brother is enough, but two is impossible. Now, look, why don't you get out of here and go get something to eat so I can get some work done? Out.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Just go get yourself a beer, anything. Only leave me alone so I can work.
One condition.
What's that?
You don't budge from this office.
I promise.
Beer?
Beer.
Beer.
All right, let's go.
Jared! Jared, you all right?
I can't see, Nick.
What do you mean? Jared!
I can't see.
Now I'm going to expose your eyes to different degrees of light. Tell me if you see anything at all. Anything?
Nothing.
Keep trying. Anything?
I can feel the heat, but that's all.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Nothing? Is it permanent?
I can't tell.
Well, what do you mean you can't tell? You just examined him, didn't you?
Go on, Doctor.
The two major causes for sudden blindness are damage to the optic nerve or an hysterical blindness brought on by an emotional shock.
Which is it with Jared?
I can't be sure yet, but if damage has been done to the optic nerve, then blindness is permanent.
And if it's shock?
Then there's a chance he can recover. When or how soon, I don't know. We can only wait. But in the meantime...
In the meantime, he's blind. Doctor, what can we do?
I don't know. I only know what you shouldn't do. Don't pity him or cry over him. Don't lead him around like a crippled puppy. Adjustment to this is going to be hard enough for him under the best of circumstances. But if you cripple him with your concern, then you'll make it impossible for him. That goes for all of you.
We understand, Doctor.
I was looking for some water. I tripped.
Well, I'm going to see Mr. Cunningham right now. I'll go with you.
Barkley's brother.
Cunningham,
Hello,
for 2
Nick.
cents, I'd give you a beating that'd make you wish you weren't born.
My credit's good. Help yourself.
Just stand quiet.
Sorry, Sheriff. It's all just a little mistake.
Yeah, yours. What now, Cunningham?
Came looking for trouble, madam. And they found it.
Cunningham, you just best go to prison, because I'm going to get to you.
Watch it, Nick.
I know what I'm saying, and I mean every word of it, and you know it.
All right.
You're doing fine, Mr. Barkley. Just fine.
Thank you, Silas.
Silas, would you please get me some eggs from the hen house? I'd like them now.
Yes, ma'am.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning, Jared.
Well, it seems I'm on my own.
You've lived in this house all your life. You know it by heart.
No more pampering, huh?
Isn't that the way you want it?
All right. Here we go. How was that?
Very good.
That was wonderful.
Audra? Well, I'm in the foyer, so there should be a little table right over here. Right about here. Right here. The living room is right over there. The archway is right up there, so it should be about 1, 2, 3. Four steps.
Don't stop now.
All right, let's try the living room. There should be some chairs right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's fine.
The drapes are open.
How could you tell?
I can feel the warmth of the sun.
Jared, Nick took the crystal off your watch. You can tell the time by touching the hand.
Remind me to thank him.
I'll fix you some breakfast.
10 after 9, right?
That's right.
What day is it? I mean, how long has it been since?
3 days.
10 after 9, day, night, they're just words now. It's like living on the dark side of the moon. You can run along now, Audra. I'll be all right. Who's that? Mother? Audra?
It's Sharon.
Sharon?
Jared?
Sharon, what are you doing back here?
I came back as soon as I heard about what happened.
Yes, well, I was hoping maybe you wouldn't hear. Seems to me you've already had enough.
I'm all right now, thank you, Jared. I brought you dinner.
Yes, I know. Ham, isn't it? Baked.
Show off. There, now you eat and I'll talk.
Sharon, I wonder if you'd mind not staying.
Oh?
Well, you see, what I euphemistically refer to as my awkward situation is, well, it's particularly acute at mealtime.
Jared, I understand.
Do you? No, I don't think you really do. Maybe a little demonstration. Now, the meat, now that's not particularly a problem, but the vegetables, oh, those vegetables, now that is the real challenge. Now, let's see. Well, perhaps now you can understand why I prefer to eat alone. I can afford myself the luxury of using my fingers.
We'll talk later then.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes, yes, I asked Sharon to leave.
Wish she was only trying to help. You can't go on like this. Well, you...
Jared, do you know an attorney by the name of Marvin Sanders?
Yeah, he's Cunningham's lawyer.
Well, he and Cunningham just had a powwow in Sanders' suite at Stockton House.
Well, what of it?
You know who else was there?
Now, how would I...
Mark Bromley. Now, if Bromley's going to prosecute, what was he doing meeting with Cunningham and his attorney?
That could be an explanation.
Mm-hmm, including the fact that Bromley sold out. Cunningham either scared him off or paid him off, or a little bit of both.
You can't be sure of that.
Well, then what was Bromley doing sneaking out the back door of that hotel?
He did what?
I saw him.
The meeting still could have been innocent enough.
Perhaps so. But can you take that chance?
What do you mean, me?
You're still acting district attorney of this county.
Well, a simple letter of resignation will take care of that if someone will be kind enough to write it for me.
It's too late for that. If Mark Bromley has sold out, the rest is up to you.
I can't go into that courtroom. I can't do it.
Yes, you can. Now listen to me, Jared. Nothing has been decided. Perhaps one day you will see again. But if and when that day comes, it won't mean a thing if you can't stand the sight of yourself.
Do it.
The jury having been sworn, we will proceed with opening statements. Are you ready for the state, Mr. Bromley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanders?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You may proceed, Mr. Bromley.
What's he doing here?
Your Honor, I apologize for this interruption.
That's quite all right, Mr. Barkley.
As acting district attorney, I assigned Mr. Bromley to this case. However, I've changed my mind. It's my intention to prosecute the case myself.
Very well, Mr. Barkley, if you're prepared to proceed immediately.
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Bromley, we may need those.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Well, there's no need to be. We'll be right here in case you need it.
Look at the jury. They're already beginning to sympathize with Barkley. I should do something. I can try.
Your Honor, this sudden change in prosecutors comes as a complete surprise to the defense. Had I known Mr. Barkley was going to be my adversary, I might have planned my case with more of an eye to...
An eye to what, Mr. Sanders?
It's a delicate matter, Your Honor, and I'm loath to bring it up, but in fairness to my client, I feel I must. I'm referring to Mr. Barkley's blindness and the fact that the sympathy and compassion that we all have for him will exert an undue influence on the jury in arriving at a verdict.
Your Honor. One moment, Mr. Barkley. What are you proposing, Mr. Sanders?
Well, in justice to my client, Your Honor, I respectfully request that Mr. Barkley withdraw from the case.
Mr. Barkley?
I have no intentions of withdrawing, Your Honor.
Well, in that case, Your Honor, I suggest that the defendant cannot receive a fair and impartial hearing in this court.
Mr. Sanders?
If he could, he would be acquitted, and Mr. Barkley knows that. And that's the reason for his sudden and dramatic takeover of this case. He's come here not to prosecute the defendant, but to persecute him. He says to the jury, forget the evidence. Convict Joshua Cunningham because you pity me.
No!
Yes, Mr. Barkley. You've come here to wave your affliction and helplessness around in the face of the jury like a flag.
You shut up.
Order. Now, I warn you, Mr. Barkley, I will tolerate no such outbursts in my court. Sit down, sir.
Nick.
Your Honor, I move for a mistrial.
Motion denied. When you're ready, Mr. Barkley.
Gentlemen, I'll be brief. It's the state's contention in this case that on June 24th last, Collier Dam was dynamited. Dynamite planted at the instigation of the defendant. Now, the state will offer conclusive evidence of this. We will further introduce evidence that will show that the motive of the defendant was simply to... I'm all right, Nick. I'm all right. Leave me alone.
Are you all right, Mr. Barkley?
Yes, I'm fine. Now, gentlemen, as I was saying, the state will offer conclusive evidence that the... Get me out of here. Get me out.
The court will recess until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
How about a drink?
No, thank you. Tearing a blind man apart isn't something I care to celebrate.
Here you go, right here. Right here. Well, I think somebody better tell Bromley the job is all his.
You don't mean that. Jared, what did you expect when you walked into that courtroom? Didn't you know Cunningham's lawyer would tear into you?
Yes. Yes, but I hoped I'd be able to take it.
You can.
Will you stop it? You stop trying to tell me how brave I am. I was lost out there. A lawyer has to be able to see. He has to look into a witness's eyes and know whether he's telling the truth or not. He has to know what effect he's having on the judge, the jury. He can't plead his case to the wall. Take me home.
Jared, I'm not going to insult you by saying I know how you feel. I don't know. No one does. But one thing I'm sure of, and it frightens me just as much as that courtroom frightened you, that if you don't do this, you'll never do anything. You'll just sit in darkness for the rest of your life being afraid, always afraid.
I need more time.
I don't believe that. Time is your enemy, not your friend. Time will only ask for more time. Shall we go?
I just feel so helpless out there.
You don't have to, Jared.
What are you going to do? Whittle me a pair of eyes?
You can hear, can't you?
And you still have a memory. And you're going to learn that courtroom. You're going to get to know every inch of it, every stick of furniture and every crack in that floor.
By tomorrow morning, you're going to feel as much as home in that courtroom as if you built it yourself.
1, 2, 3. Your Honor? One, 2, 3. Now, how was that?
Good.
Tired?
Tired. That's too bad. We're just getting started.
Now, Nick, you just said
I
it
said
was...
it was good. I didn't say it was perfect. That's what it's got to be tomorrow morning when you walk into this courtroom.
It's important, Jared.
Yeah. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. And so, gentlemen of the jury, on the basis of the evidence and the evidence alone, the state is confident that you will find Joshua T. Cunningham guilty. Your Honor, I call Simon Templeton. And as proprietor of the Dry Forks General Store, did you, on the afternoon of June 21st, sell an unusually large amount of dynamite?
I did.
Barkley. I now hand you this receipt and ask if you recognize it.
I do. It's a receipt for the dynamite I sold.
And to whom is that receipt made out?
Joshua T. Cunningham.
Your Honor, the state offers this receipt in evidence. Well, I wonder if I might trouble you gentlemen for a glass of water. Thank you. On June 21st, you were in Daleburg, more than 100 miles from Collier Dam.
How many more times I gotta answer that?
Once more, Mr. Carell.
Yes!
Come now, Mr. Carell, even I can see that you're lying.
Objection.
Sustained. Mr. Barkley, you know better than to make a remark like that.
My apologies, Your Honor. You're excused, Mr. Carell. Call Amy Carter.
That's right. I own the Big Nugget on the Dry Forks Road, about 2 miles above Collier Dam.
And on the evening of the 21st, did several men come in for a drink?
Yeah.
Did you know them?
No.
Could you recognize them if you saw them again?
Sure.
Miss Carter, are any of those men in this courtroom now?
3 of them. Him. Him and, him.
You gotta make a liar out of that Carter woman when you cross-examine her.
I'll do my best.
You give me up.
I'll play out the hand, Cunningham. But you might as well face it. Barkley has got you right by the throat.
What if something should happen, Tom? An accident, for instance.
I don't want to hear talk like that.
We'll bring Bromley back into the case, and I'd still have a chance. Good night, Sanders.
Good night.
How about some coffee?
Ah, that's what I need. When did Heath and Nick say they'd be back?
Oh, they'll be riding herd until morning.
I thought it was kind of quiet around here.
Mrs. Barkley. Mrs. Barkley.
Mrs. Barkley? Dr. Marat sent me.
Dr. Marat?
Your son Heath's been hurt in a fall from his horse. Nick took him to the doc in town. The doc thinks you better come.
Silas, get the buggy.
And Silas, I want you in order to go with her.
Yes, sir. I'll get back to town.
Now run along. I'll be all right. Run along. want, Corral? Come on, I know it's you. You're the only man in town that wears those fancy Mexican spurs. Isn't that Mason with you? I can smell that cheap pomade a mile away. And where you have Mason and Corral, you usually have Cunningham. Isn't that right?
That's right, Barkley.
So Heath wasn't hurt after all. Just a ruse to get me alone.
You thought you had the rope around my throat, Barkley.
You'll never get away with this.
That's possible. It's also possible that I can. If you're not in court on Monday morning, Bromley takes over.
Bromley can't help you now.
He can if he agrees to a mistrial. And I think he can be persuaded that such a motion is in order. Stand up.
He said, get up.
Don't fight it, Barkley.
All right, Cunningham. What are you going to do with me?
You're going to have an accident. There's an open well out back. You went out to get some fresh air. You got confused, stumbled, fell into the well, and drowned.
Take a look outside.
All clear.
Bring him along.
All right, Barkley. Let's go.
Corral! Corral? Corral!
5, 6.
Let's try a window. Get some light in here. Well? Where is he? Where is he?
I don't know.
He busted the lamp.
You look upstairs, I'll check the kitchen.
Looks like he busted them all.
In there, come on.
You two have your guns out? Drop them. Better tell them to drop them.
Do as he says.
One at a time so I can hear him fall.
I can take him.
Come on, try it. We'll see which one gets it first, me or your friend here.
No, Corell.
Let me hear it fall, Corell. I'll kick him over here where I can feel him. All right. Now you two get out of here. You get on your horses and let me hear you ride just as fast as you can.
Do as he says.
Gonna get up, Cunningham. Nice and easy. All right, there's a chair over there. Walk to it, nice and easy. You're gonna sit in that with this gun in your head until somebody comes to take you off my hands.
Imagine it's been a pretty long 3 weeks for you, Jared.
The longest of my life, Doctor.
Now let's get on with the work. Try these first 3 lines. Are those letters still blurred for you?
Huh? Oh, M-T-E-L-E-H.
Fine. Now go on with the next one.
F-D-P-L-T-C-E-O.
Pretty good, even though you did get a little ahead of it.
But, Doctor, that's not...
Not the second line, no. It's even better.
F-D-P... Oh, Jared.
Oh, Jared. Oh.
There's no doubt about it, Jared. You're as good as new. You're very fortunate that there wasn't any damage to the optic nerve.
Thank you, Doctor. Thanks for everything.
Well, we got some fences to mend.
Yeah, we're very glad for you, Jared. Right now, we got to get to work.
Hold it a minute, Nick.
Why?
Could you boys use a little help?
Well,
we sure could.
Well, I'm your man.
You're not serious with those lily white hands of yours.
Well, I don't think I'd look any sillier digging a post hole than you must have looked in that courtroom.
For you, driver. Just as far as that'll take her.
Please.
Thank you.
Would you like some water?
I'm all right. Are you all going for?
Just to Tucson.
A horse auction.
My daughter is quite a horsewoman.
I'm going home. I am going home.
Good night's rest, and you won't mind that 50 miles of desert tomorrow. I guarantee you'll get a good night's rest in this town.
Mr. Barkley. I've been looking for you for a long time.
Well, now you found me.
You always were a little too sure of yourself, Heath.
Tom. Well, I guess I'm still a little faster than you are, old partner. I told you we'd run across each other one day.
I thought you were going to Virginia City.
No, I got sidetracked and glad of it. You haven't changed a bit,
Well, you sure have. Hey, is that badge for real?
Yeah, sure. I'm Marshal here. Say, you got sidetracked yourself, I hear. Found yourself a family. The Barkleys?
Heath. Heath, if you ever do that to me again...
Ah, Mother, I'm sorry. It's just an old game we play. Didn't mean to scare you. Tom? My mother and sister Audra. Old friend Tom Wills.
I do apologize to you ladies if our little game shocked you.
No, it didn't really shock me. It just surprised me to see a marshal acting that way.
Well, I can tell you, if anybody else tried the same thing, I'd arrest him right now.
I hope so.
I mean it. Say, how long are you going to be in St. John?
Just overnight.
Well, then you must do me the honor of being my guests at dinner. The chef of the inn sets a mighty fine table, especially when he's serving people of quality.
Well, it's very kind of you. Thank you.
It's all set then. Shall we say 7?
I'll tend to the luggage.
That's a mighty fine family you got there, Heath.
Yeah, they're really something.
Thank you.
Anytime, Mel.
Hold it right there. Now you just get back on that stage right now.
What's the matter, Tom?
I run a tight little town here, Heath. Took a lot of trouble on my part to clean it up. Now I aim to keep it that way. And there are certain kinds of females who are not welcome in St. John.
Tom, we're just staying overnight. All of us. That's all right, isn't it?
Ah, they mean trouble every time. Man should never make an exception to a rule.
Not even for an old friend?
Well, I reckon maybe old friends do have certain privileges. All right, just this once. But you stay close to your room, yeah? That kind of woman is trouble, boy. Pure trouble.
Well, now, Tom, when did you become such an expert on women?
Well, just never you mind. Hey, Heath, leave that gun in your room, will you? In case you hadn't noticed, nobody in town who has a gun. Except me.
All right. See you then.
All right.
Who is it?
Room service, your luggage, ma'am.
It's you. Just put it over there, please. J for Jezebel.
Well, they got it wrong. Should be S for Sally.
Thank you. And for what you did downstairs, I don't know how to...
Well, I'm sure anybody else would have done the same thing.
Would they?
If you need anything, our rooms are just down the hall.
Not Mr. Willstown, it ain't.
I never seen no mirage like that before. Wonder where she come from.
I heard we was getting a new schoolmarm in one of these days.
If that's her, I just may go back and finish up my learning.
Well, go on then. Let's see old Romeo in action. I got 25 cents here. Says you ain't even got nerve enough to say boo to that female.
Want something, miss?
Yes, I'd like a dress.
Well, I don't believe I stock anything you'd be interested in.
No, I want something simple like this one.
Well, help yourself, Lou. Licorice in the jar. They're like usual.
I come for chewing tobacco.
Since when, I'd like to know?
Since right now.
I don't believe I have anything.
Oh, I'll take these two. They're perfect. And in my size, too. How much?
$4. I'll just put them in a sack.
And I like a licorice.
Well, just help yourself. It's right there in the jar. $4 and 1 cent for the licorice. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you kindly, ma'am.
Your name's Lou.
Short for Lewis, actually.
Hey, that's a nice name. Mine's Sally.
I told you to stay in your room.
I have a right to do what I want.
No, you don't. That's the way it always starts. One of your kind comes in, starts parading her wares up and down.
I was out shopping. Is there a rule?
Mr. Wills, stop!
Now go to your room.
Mr. Wills, please!
Stand up against the law, will you?
Sally, is anything wrong? A new dress? Well, why don't you wear it tonight? I was just coming to invite you to have dinner with us.
I'm not hungry. Thank you.
Well, you will be. Please, we'll be expecting you.
We?
My family.
Well, I wouldn't want to disappoint the Barclays.
Good.
Your brother's friend, Marshall Wills, he's a very dangerous man.
You know, I just don't believe it. Two old saddle tramps like you and me, and one is a town marshal, the other a gentleman rancher.
No, just plain rancher, Tom.
Good evening.
Mrs. Barkley, where is your lovely daughter?
Oh, she'll be down in a moment.
Oh, fine. Here, sit down. Would you care for some sherry?
Yes, please.
You know, we have a quiet little town here, Mrs. Barkley, but having two lovely ladies like you as guests is going to give it something to remember for a long, long time.
Well, that's very flattering. Thank you.
Aren't you going to join us, Tom?
No, I have to set an example for the town people.
Oh. Oh, that must be quite a burden.
No, it's just caution. I have to be sure that things don't slide back the way they were before I came here.
Yes. Well, then, here's to virtue.
I invited Sally to join us, Mr. Wills. I hope you don't mind.
No.
Isn't Sally's new dress pretty?
Very pretty indeed. Sit down, Tom.
Look, I hope you'll excuse me. I just remembered something I have to do. Meet me in my office later. We'll discuss old times.
Waiter, you may serve now, please.
Just heading over to your office.
Well, how's dinner? As good as this end?
That duck and wild rice never tasted better.
This little town will surprise you, Heath. Take a look around. What do you see?
Well, a mighty peaceful town, Tom.
Yeah. About a year ago, when the Citizens Committee hired me, the ranchers couldn't raise cattle as fast as they were stolen. Bank was closed. Bandits making withdrawals faster than customers could put in the money. That storekeeper right there lost 2 sons on this street one night to hell races.
I figured it had to be a challenge to get you to wear a badge.
Well, I did something about it. I gave this town some rules to live by.
Rules?
My rules. Fred, will you get those bags in? Somebody's gonna trip over them in the dark.
So I wondered what happened to you.
Oh, I wandered around a while. Built a little reputation with my gun without really meaning to. And then one day,
Rode into St. John.
Found a home?
Pond. Big fish in a little pond here. That's the way I like it. Come here, I want to show you something. See that little house there? It's not bad diggings for your old trail partner, eh?
Sure beats a blanket on the cold ground.
Yeah, it was given to me by the townspeople in appreciation.
Very nice.
Come on, I'll buy a drink.
Pretty quiet in here, too, Tom. More like a church.
Evening, Red.
Wells, whiskey. It's not quite 8 o'clock, Mr. Wells.
Oh, we've got a rule. No drinks sold before 8 o'clock. Man's place is with his wife and children during the family hour. Ed, due to the fact I have an old friend with me, I think it's close enough to 8 o'clock to let the folks have a drink.
Okay. Bar's open, boys.
Join me? I forgot, you set the example.
Yeah, there was two kinds of trouble in this town. One of them was too much liquor, the other was women. You know the kind I mean. They'd grab a working man's dollar before it hit the bottom of his pocket.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any around now.
That's because I stop them before they get a chance to hitch a skirt. Like that girl. I knew the kind she was the minute she got off that stage.
That's real fast judgment, isn't it?
It's experience, Chief. I've thrown enough of her kind out of this town. I know one when I see one. What is it, boy?
The doc wants to see you, Mr. Wilson.
About what?
Lou Farrell.
See how it is? Enjoy a drink. I'll be right back. What's the matter with him?
Concussions. Trouble is, he isn't rallying. His heartbeats are regular, his pulse is
Why
weak.
are you telling me that?
Just didn't want to be responsible in case...
Responsibility is that boy's. He's still up against the law.
Well, somebody ought to notify his dad.
You notify him. You see what happens? You make an exception. You let one of those females come into town for one night, and a boy lies near death because of it.
Would you get out of my room? Get out! You hear me?
Boy, it was tempting today. Lou Farrell, he's dying.
Oh, no.
That the perfume you were tempting him with?
Get out of here!
Yeah, maybe I was all wrong about you. Where'd you say you come from?
Red Rock.
Red Rock. I know Red Rock pretty well. Whereabouts you live there?
Somewhere out of town.
The edge of town?
Oh, will you leave me alone, please?
Now, what you do there? You don't have to answer. We both know, don't we? Little lady, you seen it happen? A young boy smells the witch's perfume, and before you know it, he's lying in the street. His life blood oozing out of it.
I'm not sure if this is correct.
Good night, Miss Audrey.
What did he want?
I want to go home.
Sal, you are going home.
He won't let me. He's never going to let me leave this town. I know it.
shot. Tell him. Afraid one of these days, though, he's going to make me get rid of this pool table.
Wills?
Yeah, he doesn't care for pool much. Says it's the devil's game. Oh, I don't see how anybody can get in any trouble playing a little pool. Unless he cheats. Well, you know Mr. Wills. I thought I did. Should have seen this place before he got here. So much business you couldn't get through the front door. Then he started to make up his rules. No drinks served before 8 o'clock. 3-drink limit to a customer. No drinks served after 11. Well, you heard him. Man should be with his wife and kids. What if he hasn't got a wife and kids? Well, if he's going to live in this town, I guess he just better get some. Tom, I'll talk to you.
Oh, Doug. Let's sit down.
Now, that stage leaves mighty early in the morning, Tom. Besides, I've had my 3-drink limit.
Times have changed, haven't they?
They've changed.
Meaning me, too.
You've changed, too, Tom.
Oh, you're wrong, boy. I was always this way. Just never had the opportunity. Evening, Mr. Farrell.
I just saw my boy, Marshal.
Oh, I understand the doc's doing all he can for him.
You did all you could for him, too. Didn't you, Marshal?
You've got something to say. Spit it out so I can understand it.
My boy's dying because of you. A man has a right to stand up for his own blood.
You aim to do it with that shotgun, huh? You're a big talker, Mr. Farrell. Big talkers don't pull triggers, and they never find their backbone.
Come on, Amos. Now get up. Come on. Come on. Here's your gun. You ought to know better, Amos, than to bring a gun into town. Now, you get home before you get into real trouble. Come on. Go.
Thanks for the drinks, Marshal.
Come in, Heath.
What's going on?
Your friend, Mr. Wills, paid Sally a social visit tonight.
Oh, all right. Sally talked to a boy this afternoon while she was shopping.
And the marshal beat him because he talked to me.
So that's it.
Do you know how he is? Is he all right?
Not good, I'm afraid.
He's just a boy. Just a nice boy. I guess it was my fault for talking to him, but his friends put him up to it, and I didn't want to let him down in front of them,
And your friend objected to that.
Heath, I want to see him. Do you know where he is?
At the doctor's office.
Please, would you take me to see him?
I'll take you. We'll be back soon.
The boy.
He's still unconscious.
How's his chances, Doc?
No way of predicting.
He's gonna die, isn't he? My boy.
Mr. Farrell, why don't you go home?
He's gonna die.
Wife doesn't know yet, does she? Somebody ought to tell her, hadn't they?
Yeah. Gotta tell her. Our boy's gonna die. And there's nothing I can do about it.
reckon he don't know how right he is.
Eamon. Eamon. Over here. Here. It's me, Eamon. It's me, old man.
You.
Still got that shotgun, Eamon? Why don't you use it, Eamon? Huh? You'd like to kill me, wouldn't you, Eamon?
Yes. Yes, I'd like to kill you!
Why don't you try? Try.
Farrell, no! Murder town.
I told you to leave that gun in your room. Next time, do it.
That old man didn't stand a chance. It's plain out murder. No, it was an execution.
Heath, there's a district marshal's office in Tucson. When we get there, tell him the story, all of it.
It won't do any good.
Well, you can't be sure of that. Anyhow, there's nothing else you can do.
Mother, I came within a hair of drawing on Wills.
That would have been a mistake.
I don't know.
No matter who won, it would have been a mistake. Just make that report to the district marshal. Sally, why don't you spend the night with Audra?
Yes, please. You've done too much for me already. I'll be all right.
I wish you would.
I have a chain lock on my door, and this time I'll use it.
Come on, Sally. I'll walk you to your room.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
See? No boogeyman. Oh, Heath, I am afraid.
Well, you have a right to be. I guess we all do.
Will tomorrow really come?
Yeah, it'll come.
I hope so. I have made so many mistakes. You know, I left home to become an actress. Can you imagine that? That old, old story, and I believed every word of it.
Now, you said you weren't going to remember anything before tonight.
I know I did. Heath, do you think there's a chance that I can forget?
If you really want to,
I want to more than anything in the world.
then you'll find your chance.
I remember a story I heard when I was a kid about this girl who fell asleep on a hilltop and dreamed she was a beautiful butterfly. When she woke up, she couldn't remember if she was a girl who dreamed she was a butterfly or a butterfly who dreamed she was a girl. That's the way I've been. I didn't know who I was until now.
Now, Miss Butterfly, if you'll lock your door, I'll wait outside until I hear that chain slide into place.
Who is it?
It's Heath.
Just a second.
You're spending the rest of the night with Audrey. You get your things together. No argument.
I don't understand. What happened?
I just saw Wills down the street. He may take it into his head to pay you another little visit.
What happens if he comes up here?
Well, if he does, you won't be here. I don't think he'll bother our rooms.
Allie?
Who is it?
Tom Wills. Open up. Please.
Sally, there's no need to be frightened. I've been thinking, and I haven't been fair to you. And I thought if you and I could have a little talk.
Look, don't you understand? I'm just not interested.
Sally, you can't go on like this. This is no life for you, being chased from one town after another. Now, this town is different. What I say goes here. Do you understand? One word from me and nothing would be too good for you. Come on now, please. Let me in. Please.
Try to kill you, Heath.
It'll be all right.
I'll never let you leave town alive. Not now.
Come on, finish your packing. Sally? Sure hope you're ready. That stage is about to pull out.
I talked to the doctor this morning, and he said that Lou Farrell was going to live, so I guess that means everything's going to be all right. So... Would you please get away from here? He is sitting in there in the other room. He might be out any moment. Please. He'll kill you.
Is that why you came here? Is it?
Please.
Sally, listen to me. Tomorrow's due come, and yours is here right now, this minute. And your way home isn't through this house. But I'm not leaving without you.
Shoot you in the back. How do you want it, boy?
Don't try it, Tom. All these times I let you win. Understand? I let you in. Come on, Sally.
Isn't he something?
He's a beauty, all right.
You didn't want to go to that auction.
Did I say that? Well, I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Heath, is that true? Maybe if you'd stayed home, none of that would have happened in St. John.
Well, it wasn't anybody's fault, Audra.
Why did Tom act like he hated Sally when all the time he really wanted her?
I guess he just wanted to prove something to himself. That he was something different from what he really was.
Oh, that sure does smell pretty.
Well, now, what's biting you?
This is a package goes down the post office. Has your name on it, too. And girl's writing.
Mine?
Who's it from?
It's from Sally.
Well, open it.
It's got a letter in it.
What does she say?
Dear Heath, I am home at last. Really home. Father is suffering through my efforts at cooking, so it's only fair that you suffer through my first effort at knitting. When are you coming for a visit? Affectionately, Sally.
Affectionately? Now, what is that?
It's a muffler.
And what are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna wear it.
I first met that girl. She is skinny enough to sit on quarter, show silver all the way around. I married her.
Gee, she went plumb to suet. I swear she could get fat biting her fingernails. Hey, Charlie. Looky there. Threw himself a dent in the back of his head. More than a while ago from the looks of it. Wonder if his horse throwed him. Hey, Charlie. Same as the other one. Ain't likely they both got horse throwed. Looky, I'll tell you what. I'll stay here with him. And I want you to ride into Stockton and tell the sheriff the whole story. All right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, you sure you know what to tell him? Sure. All right. Hey, Charlie! Charlie!
Heath, now it's past noon. We ought to be moving out.
There's your hang-up.
Come on, roll him. Big 10.
Is it winning?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could be 2 more days. Old Nick ain't gonna quit the game till he's got all the money or none of it.
Dace, you like ham sandwiches?
Yeah, I like him.
It's all yours. I'll see if I can pry him loose.
Be good to me.
Time to head for home, Nick.
Home is where the heart is.
Home is also where they're expecting us with some white-faced cattle.
Mm-hmm. The valley's been without those pot-belly shorthorns for over 1,000,000 years. Another day or two shouldn't make any difference. Ha-ha! 7!
And the money comes to smiling Nick Barkley.
Come on, Nick, shake loose.
You're all fired trail eager because you're all cleaned out, that's all.
Well, it was, but I am.
Well, our foreman, Mr. Dace Edwards, is older than 2 times 10 and a half, and his pants come clear down to his ankles. If he can't roll out those pot-bellies by himself, then we're really in trouble.
We'll see you back at the range.
No. You're not going to leave me out on that trail with no one to argue with but myself, and you know it. Stick around.
What for?
This is for.
Come on, now, a little less. Here, come on, 200 more. Let's go.
Oh, look at all that money.
Trail expenses. You move them out. We'll catch up to you later, here.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days.
Dace, my San Francisco tobacconist makes these up especially for me, 50 cents a piece. Smoke them real slow, will you?
Yeah, thanks. Well, I'll spend a night at Bleak House, Newman's Crossing. See you there, huh?
Yeah, Bleak House. Have a nice trip.
All right, come on.
You got any vacancies? How many of you is there?
There's 5 of us.
Well, 50 cents a head includes a hot supper and a hot breakfast. Come on.
4 of us are cows.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I swear, after the way your brother and I slaved to get you all that schooling, you don't read nothing except fairy tales. You're always thinking that you're a Cinderella princess.
Anything wrong with dreaming?
No. You just keep a good tight grip on that dream. One of these days it'll all come true. You get enough money and build that hotel up on the North Rise. A big, sparkling white one. A real showcase.
And kings and emperors will come from halfway around the world to enjoy our hospitality.
Why don't you fetch me a little taste of whiskey like a good girl?
You have to wait. We've got a guest. Howdy.
Howdy, ma'am.
Well, howdy, cowboy. Here, let me take your gear. You've been swallowing a lot of trail dust, have you?
Well, I chewed enough sand to make my teeth get short.
Well, sit down, sit down. I got something for you that'll make your teeth grow 1.5 feet. Bell, pour the man a drink.
Well, I always go first class. Now, you take it out of this 20. I'm sorry it's the smallest I got, and take $1 out for my accommodations.
Well, I reckon we can find change for this around here somewheres.
Where are you from, Mr.
Edwards, Dace Edwards. Originally from Cincinnati.
Coming out west to make your fortune?
Yeah, little idea of mine. I got them 4 Hereford cows out there, and I'm going to start a new breed.
Yeah, I saw you ride in. Those are eastern-looking cattle, all right.
$100 a head.
You must have done pretty well back east to save up $400.
Oh, just a drop in the bucket.
Here you go, cowboy.
Thank you there.
Belle, you take good care of our friend. I've got some work to do out back.
Okay, Pa. Oh, you care for a refill?
Yes, I never did like to eat much on an empty stomach. Pardon me for saying this, ma'am, but I've been to 1 circus, 2 carnivals, and 8 county fairs. And you're the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Well, I bet you said that before.
No, never once. So help me.
Well, I'm just a simple country girl. You're liable to turn my head.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, here, let me. Oh, I love the smell of cigar smoke. It's got a man smell to it. You know something? I never knew a man who was really comfortable with his boots on.
Yeah, well, I've had them on for 4 days now. They're kind of stuck. They're kind of growed on like.
Well, here, you just let me help you with them. You take your other foot and push.
Well, ma'am, I just can't do this. No righteousness. I just can't.
Just lean back and push.
Well, ma'am. Well, if I'd known about this place before, I'd have been here a long time ago.
Hit him a good one.
He's dead.
How much did we get?
$400 worth of cattle, if he was telling the truth. Bart, you better drive him up the West Wash until we can find a buyer.
I figured he was worth getting. Thought the cow's what we get.
$18.80 in cash. All he had on him was that 20. Sure, he did well back east. $400, a drop in the bucket, he said.
We got $18.80. What's what we're going to get for his gear and cattle? Now, that ain't bad for a half hour's work.
But he fooled us.
Someday I'm gonna meet a man with so much money he doesn't have to lie.
Now, when you roll, you gotta talk to those dice. How do you expect them to do what you want them to do if you don't talk to them?
We better rest these horses.
They're not sweating.
Well, I am.
I never once heard you say, come on, dice. Make it and I'll get you some new spots.
Nick, them squares are made out of ivory. They can't hear a word you say.
All right, and how come I'm a $3,100 winner?
You cheat.
I play the winning streak. Play the winning streak. You can't win, you can't win.
You can't lose. You can't lose. You look over there. Look over there. See that little rabbit? You see him? You see him?
Yeah, I see him.
Well, now, I'll bet you $10 when I holler, he's gonna spook to the right. Huh? Huh?
No bet.
There. See that? Now, when was the last time you saved $10 so easy?
It must have been 15 or 20 minutes ago when I didn't take that bet on whether them stupid bird's nests had pink eggs or blue eggs. You want to camp here? I got some hooks. We'll see how lucky you are with these trout.
Oh, no. I can afford a hot meal. Oh, by the way, where was that place old Dace was going to meet us yesterday?
Bleak House up by Newman's Crossing.
Oh, now, why can't we stay there the night? Get up, have a fresh start in
We're
the morning.
only 6 hours from home, Nick. We'll be in there before midnight.
Tell you what, we'll flip for it. Heads we go to Bleak House, tails we go on home.
Not a chance. But I'll bet you the food is lousy.
50 cents it isn't.
You'll never get that bed clean that way. You're going against the grain. You gotta go with the grain. This way. This way, eh? Looks like somebody got hurt here.
No, we just slaughtered some hogs.
Hogs, huh? Well, how does a half a dozen pork chops sound to you?
Sounds great to me.
Well, we sold off all the pork, but we got beef stew for supper, and for breakfast we got bacon and beans, and sleeping's in the loft, and the price, 50 cents each.
Here's 5.
Well, I ain't got change for $5.
Oh, that's all right. You take it. We just want the best in the house.
You got it.
Say, what time did our foreman leave this morning? Who? A fella named Dace Edwards.
He was driving some white-faced cows. He was supposed to stop here last night. Did he stop here?
No, ain't been nobody around here for days. Listen, I'm gonna go down to the house and get my assistant to start supper for you. All right?
Right.
Glad to have you.
What do you suppose happened to Dace?
Oh, I don't know. You get those fat cows moving, you wouldn't want to stop them now, would you?
I guess not.
All right, let's get the horses unsaddled and get to that hot meal, huh?
And one of them's got a roll of $100 bills you could stuff a tall goose with.
And they was asking about that feller that was here yesterday?
Yeah, said he was their foreman.
He was just a foreman.
You can't trust nobody nowadays. What'd you say?
Well, I told him we never seen nobody fit that description.
Good. You figure they got $1,500, maybe $2,000?
Oh, more than twice that. Enough to get us a real fine hotel.
Well, you feel them out, and I'll be in the back room getting some shut-eye with both ears open.
Howdy. Come on in. Just make yourselves at home. Got the pot boiling. Corks out of the whiskey. Bell, they're paid.
Well, now. See what I told you? Some days you just can't lose.
Howdy, ma'am. I'm Heath Barkley.
I'm Nick Barkley.
Sit down. I'll fix you a drink.
The best in the house, please.
Are you the Stockton Barkleys?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you gentlemen are hungry. You like beef stew?
You make it, I'll guarantee it.
I'll set the table.
Let me help you.
It's your move, Mr. Barkley.
Nick.
It's your move, Nick. That wasn't a very good move.
Make it hard for a fellow to concentrate.
Do you get by here very much?
No, not ordinarily. This may prove to be my favorite route to Fresno.
I hope so. It is late. You said you were going to leave before sunup?
I don't need any sleep.
I do.
next time. It might be sooner than you think.
Keith, come on. Come on, we're gonna go to bed. Come on.
Fine.
Come on, we're gonna go to sleep. Yep.
Night.
Good night, Bill.
I got a feeling he just might be coming back.
I hope so.
Daddy?
You let him get away.
Those are Stockton Barkley's, boy. Too rich, too many friends, too many folks expecting them back.
All that money.
We tempted fate when we killed their foreman. Besides, that black-haired one, he sparked the bell.
They all do.
We might build this into something permanent.
Hold up. What's the matter? I just remembered I left that rifle of mine back at the bleak house in the barn.
All right, I'll ride back with you. You'll need somebody to argue with.
No. You go on. The family, they may be worried.
Well, I'm sure Dace has got back and told him about that crap game. Besides, you might need some help. With that girl.
You get out of here.
Sure?
I saw him with my own eyes.
Jared, that's terrible.
Well, the prodigal returns.
I'll even got me down. What's so terrible?
They found 3 more bodies in the North Jetty.
3 more?
That makes 9 in the past 2 months.
Any identification?
Not unless you want to count their skulls being crushed in like all the others.
We were beginning to worry about you. You were supposed to be here yesterday.
Well, didn't Dace tell you we'd be late?
Dace?
We sent him ahead with a Hereford.
Well, he isn't here.
Well, they should have got here yesterday.
Maybe you and Nick better double back, see if he's in any trouble.
Well, Nick isn't with me.
What do you mean?
Well, he left his rifle at the place we stayed at last night and rode back to get it.
Oh, well, then he'll be here in a few hours.
Well, not exactly. You see, he left a girl there also.
Oh?
Not anything to worry about, though, because Nick's riding a winning streak. But if Dace doesn't show up in a couple hours, I'll ride back and check on him.
Good.
What's for lunch?
Back sooner than you thought.
Oh, I didn't expect you back so soon.
Well, I forgot my rifle.
Listen, a man who sits a horse the way you do could ride 5 feet without noticing an empty rifle boot.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was just about all the way home, and I remembered I'd stuck it under some hay in the corner of the barn here. Many hands make light work. Here, I'll get that.
Thank you. Aren't you afraid you'll disappoint a lot of beautiful, rich young ladies up in Stockton?
Well, if there were that many beautiful young ladies up in Stockton, I wouldn't have to take my rifle out of the boot in the first place. Besides, none of them are as pretty as you.
Mr. Barkley! Mr. Barkley's here! Look, why don't you come on over here and sit down and make yourself comfortable?
Pa, Mr. Barkley forgot his rifle.
Why don't you get him some coffee? Hey, you're going to be staying the night, Mr. Barkley. Well, there's big doings in town tonight. There's a barn dance. Bill, you tell him about the barn dance.
There's a barn dance.
Oh. Well, would you do me the honor of your company?
You can wear your flowered dress. Have you had lunch?
No,
Bill, why don't you fix a picnic basket? It's kind of warm around here, and it's nice and cool in that grove down by the river. Ain't nothing too good for our starboarder, Mr. Barkley.
What'd Nick think of those Herefords? He finally changed his mind?
It took some convincing.
Well, they'll grow on him. Audra, what are you doing?
You put any more sugar in that tea, you're going to have to chew it.
Well, 9 men have been murdered. Aren't you too worried?
Yes, we are.
I'll get it. Oh, Sheriff, come in. Come in.
Afternoon, Victoria.
You're just in time for coffee.
Thanks, Victoria. But
Hello, Fred.
everybody. Fred. I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you.
We found another body. It's your foreman, Dace Edwards.
Oh, no.
Dace? Where?
The river, North Jetty, same place as all the others.
Heath, how much of a head start did he have on you?
About 12 hours. We're supposed to catch up to him at Bleak House, but he never showed up there.
How do you know that?
Well, we checked there last night. They hadn't seen him.
I'm going to wire the lawmen upstream and form a posse.
We'll ride with you, Sheriff. Let's go.
What kind of a person would do a thing like that?
Like it?
Love it.
I mean the picnic lunch.
That, too. I was talking about your face.
Are you trying to memorize me?
Mm-hmm. From chin to hairline. I just can't get enough of looking at you, so.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe I'm trying to find something wrong with you. Very difficult.
But you found something?
Those blue eyes. I bet a man could drown in those blue eyes.
I never thought anyone would notice. Well, you have a defect, too.
I do. Where?
Your forehead. Your hair keeps falling down on it.
Something wrong?
You kissed me like I was somebody.
You are somebody to me, Belle. Somebody very special.
Don't talk that way. And don't feel that way. Let's just not hear nothing.
Well, they're coming back. Been gone just about the right amount of time. Bale? Bale? How did it go?
It was just wonderful, Pa.
You still got that money on him?
Bart.
Well, Daddy, she's got a funny look to her I never seen before.
Well, it ain't the kind of look you're ever like to understand.
Well, would you mind waiting outside? I want to take a bath.
Well, don't throw the water out when you're finished. Bart's going to use it.
Daddy, do I have to?
I'd appreciate it. It looks like it's working out.
Well, if Belle marries him, who's going to do for us?
Oh, we can hire anybody we want.
Uh-huh. She'll move in that big house and grow uppity ways and have us fetching and toting.
Oh, no. We got a saddle on your sister, boy.
Not if she marries money, we don't.
Wouldn't the Barkleys be flat out shocked to learn they got an in-law that's done the things that Belle's done?
We're gonna be rich, Daddy.
Like having a tunnel to the bank, son. Like having a tunnel to the bank.
What was she like?
Who?
First girl you ever in love with?
Oh, that one. She was a most unusual girl.
She like me?
Oh, very different from you. Very different.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A darker complexion, a little shorter, a little skinnier. But then again, so are all Paiute Indian girls at the age of 11.
Oh, now you're making fun of me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Oh, I just suddenly feel I need to know everything about you. Do you have a middle name?
Mm-hmm. Nicholas Jonathan Barkley, ma'am, at your service. Well, what about you? Where are you from? Your father and brother sound like they're, up around Missouri, Kansas way.
In Missouri.
Mm-hmm. Whereabouts in Missouri?
Oh, it's a place you never would have heard of.
What's Rimey?
Clay County.
Clay County, Missouri. Seems I have heard something about that.
Oh, no. Just a little place. Nothing ever happened there.
Well, I don't know about that. You were born there, weren't you? All right, enough about your past. Do you have any idea about your future?
Tell me.
Tonight, right after that barn dance, when we're all alone, do you know what I'm going to do?
No.
I'm going to buy us 2 steaks about an inch thick and 2 bottles of wine, best restaurant in town.
This where you're holding the barn dance tonight?
I was. Been called off, and I spent $8 in advertising.
Oh, why'd you have to cancel?
Most of the men rode out of town on posse.
Who are they looking for?
Somebody around here's been killing folks and throwing them in the river. Bunch of bodies wound up in Joaquin County.
You might as well go home then.
8, 10 people knocked in the head. Maybe more.
We can still get home before dark.
Ain't nobody actually said lynch you. But they sure been fingering their ropes.
Take me home, Nick.
Still stay and have a little dinner.
Please. There are people around here doing things like that. I want to get back and warn Daddy and Bart.
Well, all right. Get on.
This is where we found the bodies, and this is where we'll split up. Check every house upstream, both sides of the river. Penn, Baines, take the Laughlin place. The old man and his wife are over 70, but check it out anyway. Colvin, Herm, take the Stearns place, also look in on the Hubbles. Next up would be Bleak House.
Jed, and I'll take that one.
That covers 20 miles. By that time, we ought to be meeting up with the Lathrop posse. All right, let's move out.
Thanks for understanding, Nick.
I'll take the buckboard to the barn and unharness.
Paul, wake up. Wake up and listen to me. Get up. Now listen to me. We gotta get away from here. There's a posse and they're talking lynch. Those bodies we threw in the river didn't stay underwater. They found a whole lot of them.
How are they going to trace them to us?
When they can't trace them any further upstream than this, they're gonna start poking around here.
There's nothing to tie us in.
It's bound and arrowed down to us, Bart. Now, do you want to take that chance?
Hush. Where's that Barkley fella?
Out in the barn unharnessing.
What's he going to think if he sees us riding out like this?
A man hit in the head with a hammer don't think nothing. With that money of his, we can buy us a whole lot of distance.
Nothing happens to him. Oh, Pa, don't you understand? For a few hours, I had everything I ever dreamed of. Right here in my hands. And my hands were clean. And it wasn't all yesterday's. It was tomorrow's.
Belle.
Oh, Pa, why does everything we touch turn to mud?
He was a nice young fella. If we move on, there's going to be other ones.
Not like this one.
So what are we supposed to do about him? He's a loss. We tap him on the head, and we send him downstream.
No!
Downstream. Downstream.
You got an idea.
Found all the bodies downstream. What if they was to find one with its head bashed in upstream?
Why, sure take the curse off on us.
Well, where are we going to find a body?
In the barn. Unharnessing.
And with a pocket full of money.
I told you, Pa, no. No.
Well, whatever's going between you and Nick Barkley's past working. He fills our needs like nobody else can. And then we can stay here and build our big hotel.
We ain't ever going to have that big hotel. We won't ever have anything.
Maybe. But it beats swinging from the end of a rope. You just move him into the right spot in front of the canvas. We won't have to explain anything to anybody. We can stay here. We'll have a lot of money and be just as pure as a morning dew.
I won't do it.
Listen to me. You ain't never disobeyed your daddy afore, and you ain't gonna start now. You hear me? You got no choice. It's him or us.
He's coming. You better listen to Daddy.
I brung us this far, and I'm going to take us all the way. You just tell him we rode out to join that posse. Let him in, Belle. Let him in.
Everything all right?
I'm fine. They left a note. Rode out with the posse.
Well, see, I told you there was nothing to worry about.
I'm sorry I ruined our dinner, our whole evening, but well, it's still early. I could fix you a cup of coffee and maybe a sandwich for cheating you out of your dinner, too.
Here, let me help you.
No, just sit down over here. I can do it.
I realize how tired I am.
Lean back there and relax.
Sure, my foreman stopped by here. He said he was gonna.
Hey, Foreman?
Dace Edwards. Matter of fact, I gave him a couple of cigars before he left Fresno. Cigars made especially for me. Like this one.
Let me see. Oh, yes. It's got your name right there. Oh, you must have left it here last night.
No. I'm sure I smoked all of them before I got here.
Oh, you must be very tired. Why don't you let me help you off with your boots, and I'll show you some real Missouri hospitality.
Missouri. Clay County. Yes, that does ring a bell. My brother defended a bank robber from up that way. Had a strange defense, though. He said he didn't even know he had committed a crime. The only crime that was known around his parts was working for a living. He taught the children how to rob and kill rather than read and write. And all the heroes the kids had were men like Jesse James and the Youngers.
Dead?
No.
Well, I can take care of that.
No! A shot might bring the posse.
And they gotta find a body upstream with a mashed-in head, right? So let's get a canvas back up and take him upriver.
Get the posse?
No, it's just as bad, though. Heath Barkley and some other man.
Let's get him in the back. Bill, you get rid of them fellers.
Why, Mr. Barkley.
Afternoon, Belle. This is my brother, Jerry. Looking for Nick. I suppose he's out back.
No, he isn't here. He did come back at noon to get his rifle, and then he went right back to Fresno.
Well, he's a forgetful one. Sorry to bother you.
Pleasure, miss. I wonder why she lied. That was Nick's horse we saw in the pasture.
I don't know. Let's ride out a ways and double back, huh?
Right.
Daddy, what we gonna do?
You ever thought about dying, son?
Not when I can help it.
Oh, Pa, it's no use.
We ain't gonna quit, Bill. I ain't never lost a fight yet. Gun beats hanging 8 ways from Sunday. You got the guts for it, boy?
I'm ready.
I'm ready!
Nick, are you all right?
Where are they? Huh?
Take it easy.
Take it easy, Nick. Where's Belle?
She's in the barn. I'll get her.
I'll get her.
Sure you're all right?
I said I'll get her.
Is it over?
It's over.
I wasn't going to let him hurt you, Nick. I wasn't going to let him go through with it.
Just sit back, Nick, and relax. Lean back, Nick.
Don't.
Sorry, Bill.
You did love me, didn't you?
Well, no, I'm not sorry about that. It's everything else.
You don't have to be.
What do you mean?
I didn't kill any of those people. I just talked to them. Pa and Bart is the ones that killed them.
How many people, Bill?
I don't know, 15, 16, I don't know.
And you just stood there and let it go on, huh?
They'll hang me, Nick. Unless you help me get away.
Get away?
Well, there's only 2 of them out there. 2 between us and the rest of our whole
Those are
life.
my brothers.
If those are your brothers out there, then they'd let us get away. There's got to be some place for us somewhere.
I'm afraid you'll always be carrying some dead people in your hip pocket, Bill.
I wasn't born 22 years ago. I was born this afternoon in a grove down by the river. And the doctor that delivered me said that a man could drown in my eyes. And then he kissed me. I never grew up around nothing but menfolk who never turned a furrow, never spent a drop of sweat. They never did nothing by the book. I even had to sneak away to go to school. Lived in nothing but old sod houses and caves. But someday we were going to have that big house. And then everything was going to be all right.
Come on, Bill. Waiting for us.
Hey! Hey, mister! Wait! Just wait! Come on. Hey, mister. You hurt? Would you get thrown or something? Look, I better get you into town. Right now, don't move. You just lie still. I'll bring my horse over closer. Hey, Jeff Bowden.
He'd been disturbing the class by talking all morning. So finally I said to him, all right, Ollie, stand up.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I gather you're talking about Ollie Jameson.
Who else?
From what I gather, I hear he could give a honey bear lessons in mischief.
Yes, he could. Anyway, I'd warned him about talking at least a half a dozen times. And finally I said, Ollie, suppose you'd had to take Mrs. Devon's place. Suppose you were the substitute teacher. What would you do? You know what he said? He said, I'd send me home. Jared, that's supposed to be funny.
Oh, never mind, darling. This is one of Jared's I've got so much on my mind mornings.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do.
Meaning Jeff Bowden.
Jared, that's over. You should forget it.
It's not easy to forget the deputy taking him off to prison last night. They'll try and keep him there the rest of his life.
He killed a man. He could have been hanged.
With any other attorney, he would have been. I think you did very well by him, Jared.
The operation was successful, but the patient died.
Oh.
Jared, there was an eyewitness.
I don't believe that eyewitness. I think he was carried away like everybody else.
Good morning.
Uh-oh.
It's just a very long card game. I'll just have coffee. Thank you. Those quit claim papers have to be signed today?
Uh-huh. I have to record them in the morning. Come in early, will you, Nick? I want to get started with the Bowden appeal.
Are you still harping on that?
He's still on that.
And still blaming himself?
Well, it's all pretty cut and dried to me. Bowden was tried by judge and jury, the whole pot of beans. Gonna have some more coffee, please.
It was trial by hysteria, Nick. Nobody in this town could forget that the man who was murdered was a priest. Pure emotional bias, and I should have been able to cut through it. You ready, Audra?
Ready.
So you're gonna throw the whole trial right out the window, huh? You're the one that always says, put your trust in the law.
Bowden put his trust in me, Nick. You know something? I think that Ollie Jameson is a pretty lucky kid.
Oh? Why?
Well, he has about the sweetest and the prettiest teacher in all of California.
Thank you.
You know, when I was a kid, we once took a vote on who the prettiest teacher was. And you know who won?
Who?
Nobody.
I don't believe that.
Well, you should.
You know, I'm pretty lucky, too.
Why is that?
Because I have a brother like you.
Well, now, what brought that up?
Oh, the way you fought for Jeff Bowden. The way you're still fighting.
What's this? I thought you were on the other side.
I can't believe that he's innocent, Jared. But it makes me proud that you care. That you're so worried.
Angry might be a better word, Audra. What I consider a monumental mistake.
But Mr. Becker saw him run from the church.
Mr. Becker thought he saw him run because he wanted to see him run.
Why?
Maybe to make himself more important.
Enough to send a man to prison?
It wouldn't be the first time it's happened. Get up. Oh. Here you are, Audra, and I hope you have a nice day with Ollie Jameson.
Aren't you going to your office?
Just as soon as I finish here.
Oh. Well, I'll pick you up after school.
All right.
Oh, Mr. Barkley, come in.
Mrs. Haley?
Oh, Mrs. Bowden will sure be pleased to see you.
How is she?
Well, she ain't been too happy. I mean, being left alone like this and the baby more than a week late already.
Yes,
Oh,
well, may
well,
I...
it don't mean nothing being late. I brung lots of them to the world like that. Except it's her first, and she's naturally scared. Oh, you remember my little John? Well, he's a big boy now.
Yes, Mrs.
And
Haley,
after
may
I gave
see
birth
her
to
now,
him...
please?
Oh, you want to see Mrs. Bowden? Here I go, chatting away about myself again. Mrs. Bowden, you got yourself some company.
Good morning.
Oh, is there something new?
Not yet, I'm afraid. Don't you worry, that appeal will be granted. I just stopped by to see if there's something you might need.
No, I'll be all right.
I'm sure you will. Especially when you have that boy.
I think it's going to be a boy.
Well, it has to be a boy. Jeff can't hunt and fish with a girl, can he?
I want to thank you, Mr. Barkley. I didn't get a chance to after the trial. There was so much confusion.
You don't have to thank me. Not yet, anyway.
You tried your best. And we're grateful. We're grateful you even took the case.
Why wouldn't I take the case?
Well, Jeff was only a handyman. There's no money to pay a lawyer like you.
I believe that your husband is innocent. If I can prove that, that's payment enough, believe me.
If it's a boy, would you like to be godfather?
Mrs. Bowden, I would be honored. Well, I better get on to the office. I'll try and look in again tomorrow. But please, don't get up.
Oh, it will do me good. You get tired of sitting and waiting.
I'm looking for Jeff. Is he here?
What happened?
He got away from the marshal, and this morning up on the North Road, he jumped Walt Tenner, grabbed his horse and gun. Now, Walt followed his tracks for a ways. He said they headed straight for town. Sorry, Mrs. Bowden. We'll have to search the house. Alec. Marty?
Yes, sir.
Will this make it worse for Jeff?
It may. I only hope they can pick him up before he does something more foolish.
Jared, I may have to deputize you.
No thanks, Fred.
Oh, wait a minute. You're his lawyer. He might listen to you.
Not if I'm wearing a badge and hunting him down with the rest of you.
Suit yourself.
Had a sign of him, Fred?
Nothing.
I had to check, Mrs. Bowden.
Mrs. Haley, if Jeff does come here, you let me know right away, understand? Now, the most important thing is that you keep him here, talk to him, make him understand that he's only hurting himself. And we've got to stop him from making things worse.
Mr. Barkley, help him.
I will if he gives me the chance.
Oh, well, and about time. Come along now. Let's get you to bed. Easy now.
Wait. Have you seen the sheriff? They said he was here.
He was. He just left.
Jeff Bowden's back. The sheriff's got to give me protection.
I'm sure he will, if you need it.
Look, Mr. Barkley, I stood up there in court. I did my duty. I testified against Bowden. Now, don't you say to me if I need it. I could have told you he'd come back. If he gets a chance at me, I'm like that priest. I'm dead.
We don't know that he came back for you, Sam.
I know. You were there yourself. You heard what he said when they were taking him away. I ain't forgetting you, druggist. But I'm going to pay you off. It takes 500 years. I'm going to pay you off.
Anybody might have said that, Sam. He thought you lied on the stand.
Why? What for? Why would I want to hurt him like that? You ask him. All the time his wife's been expecting. You ask him how much he paid for her pills, half price, because he couldn't afford no more. Ain't nothing to him. He's gonna kill me if he gets a chance. Now look, Sam, we don't even know he's here. If he is, this town isn't that big. We'll find him. Before he finishes me? Before he finishes himself, I hope.
Hello, Stevie. How are you?
I'm fine, Miss Barkley, except I can't run around this morning. On account of this new jacket I got from Pa.
It's very handsome. Are you feeling better?
Huh?
Well, you were out all week. I thought you were sick.
Oh, no, ma'am. I've been running the store. I don't mean rolling pills and such. Just watching while Pa was in court.
I see.
Pa wouldn't just leave the drugstore like that. Only they said he had to go. He had to stand up in court and tell what he saw.
Of course.
But looks like he won't have to go no more. They took Jeff Bowden away last night, and Pa says he ain't never gonna come back.
Stevie, why don't you take your beautiful new jacket and hang it up before it gets dirty?
Yes, Miss Barkley.
Ollie, would you close the front door, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Shoot me.
You sure it was Bowden?
Over my place. He just missed me that much.
All right, Marty, Alec, you both check the alley, check every store, every house, everything.
Come on, let's go.
Hodges, Lavery, take Newbury Street, both sides. You two take Pierce Avenue, and the rest of you take the river.
Fred.
Yeah?
You got another badge?
Change your mind?
Maybe you were right. He might listen to me.
Good. We'll check Lawton Street.
Well, how long you reckon you're gonna be?
Oh, not long.
Uh-huh. Anytime a woman tells me she's not gonna be long, she's going shopping, it's 3 to 1. I'll be back before she's through. Now, I best get over there and get those papers signed. So you wait here, I'll be right back.
Oh, no, I'll walk to the Bowdens. It's not far.
Not with all those packages you don't. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hank, get up here. Good morning, Victoria.
Morning, Arthur.
What can I do for you?
Oh, I'd like to see some baby things. For a friend.
You betcha. Any idea what she needs?
My guess would be just about everything.
Well, fine. Let's start with the blankets.
Helen, good morning. I shouldn't be too long, Arthur. I just have to get some things for supper. Nice to see you, Victoria.
There we are.
All blue?
What's the only color I carry? Everybody hopes for a boy.
Oh, not this time. I'm hoping Mrs. Bowden has a girl.
Mrs. Bowden?
Girls are much easier to raise alone.
Is that who you're buying for, Jeff Bowden's wife?
Shouldn't I be?
Well, it's your money. You do what you like. Seems to me, though, when it comes to trash like the Bowdens.
I've learned one thing in this valley. There's room for all kinds. Men like you and Jeff Bowden. And no man has the right to call another trash.
Look, Bowden's a killer. He killed a priest.
Jared thinks he's innocent. He's going to appeal.
Well, let him. It'll take more than a lawyer. It'll take an act of God.
If you don't mind, Arthur, I'd like to finish my shopping. Now, would you show me some other things?
Oh, Miss Audra! I see it, Ollie. Stevie, I'm afraid your absence has put you behind the class.
I got it wrong?
Mm-hmm.
A lot?
Well, a lot or a little doesn't matter. In arithmetic, you have to be perfect. 5 and 4.
9.
And 3.
12.
And 7.
18. And 19.
Sometimes second guesses are better.
Sorry, Miss Barkley, we had to look in. We're after Jeff Bowden.
Jeff Bowden, here in Stockton, are you sure?
No question about it, ma'am. He took a shot at the baker and ran down the alley.
Well, he didn't run in here. The only criminal we have is Ollie Jameson. He talks too much.
That's all right. He's got to be around. We'll pick him up.
Sorry to bother you, ma'am.
Shall we go on? Stevie, there's no reason to be frightened.
But he came back to kill Pa.
Now, that's a silly idea.
On account of Pa talked against him in court.
He isn't going to hurt your father. He isn't going to hurt anyone. Stevie, would it make you feel better if I let you go be with your father?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right, go ahead. And don't worry about your lessons. I'll bring them over to you. Well, now, who would like to finish the blackboard exercises? Ollie?
No, ma'am. I just wanted to tell you Stevie forgot to take his jacket.
Oh, well, maybe you can catch up with him and give it to him.
Jared? Anything?
Not so far.
You take the rest of the street alone if you don't mind. I think I better get back in case some of the others get lucky.
All right, Sheriff.
Jared, you knew him better than anyone. You any idea who might be hiding him out?
No, Sheriff, I haven't.
All right.
You better sit down. Go on, sit down. Now, look, I don't mean you... I don't mean any of you no harm. Not so long as you're all quiet. You understand? Just be quiet.
You're not thinking of hiding here, are you?
You got someplace better? Now, look, it wasn't my notion to hole up in here, but I didn't have no time to pick and choose, you understand?
Or to think about the children if there's any shooting. Please, just let the children go.
I can't. Now, I can't take that chance.
Children, I think we'll skip history today. Why don't we draw? Let's get out our slates.
What are you doing here? You should be in school.
Miss Barkley said I should be with you.
With me?
Well, sure, on account of Jeff Bowden. Unless you ain't heard.
I heard.
Pa, you got any notion why he came back?
I wouldn't hardly know. Here, let's call this a little pay on account.
Pay for what?
There's a couple of cases in the back room. As long as you're here, you might as well get them unpacked.
Sure, Pa. Hi, that's my new jacket at school.
Stevie. Steve, wait a minute.
It's almost time for the children's recess. People are used to seeing the children outside.
What you hiding, boy? I asked you something. What you got there? What do you got? Even the kids.
Run, Stevie, run!
Get out of my way! Get out of my way! That was the druggist, kid. Oh, you fix me up good. You fix me up just fine.
Jared. Sheriff told me about Bowden. Think he come back here to kill Sam Becker?
I hope not, Nick.
Now, don't put yourself out on the end of a limb, Jared. You kept him from being hung. What more can you do?
Maybe just keep him from hanging himself. I got to report back to Fred.
I just best go along.
Pa, open up! I gotta tell you something! Pa! Pa, open up! Before he gets away! Come on, Pa!
Now, you knew he'd go yelling to his paw.
Yes.
And you give him a hand. Didn't matter a hoot what happened to me. Why? Why, did I hurt you any? Did I try to do you some harm? Look, you got me tied up here like a goose, ready for market.
Mr. Bowden, I'm Audra Barkley, Jared's sister.
I know that.
Why don't you let me send for him? He'd help you. I know he would.
Wouldn't do no good, no more than before. Don't you know this town's got a taste for blood?
They're gonna come after you. They'll have guns. Let the children leave. I'll stay.
I can't. I told you I can't.
You pick him up?
No, but I got a dozen men out looking for him.
It's not enough. You need more. Every man you can get.
You want to set this whole town in a panic?
We pin him down with a bunch of nervous guns. We're going to force him into doing something that maybe we could prevent.
He'd kill a mad dog in the street. He killed that priest.
That's one man's testimony.
You listen to me, Mr. Jared Barkley.
Pa! 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 Get
What is it,
Bowden,
boy?
my son!
What?
He's in the school! Get Bowden in the school!
Round up the others fast.
What are you talking about over there? What you two talking? Now, you sit down. Go on, sit down. Something out there? What is it? What do you see? I ask you what you see.
Alec and Marty are covering that alley back there. Tell them to stay put till they get the word.
Stay put? What for? You got him holed up.
He's not the only one in there, Becker. Where's Mother?
She's over at Cleaver's getting some baby clothes for the Bowdens.
You'd better get back there and take her over to Bowden's yourself.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
You want her to hear about him being in there with Audra? What good would it do?
How soon you going in, Sheriff?
Not sure, Nick. It's going to take some figuring.
All right, I'll be back. Well, you are on time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing I got the buggy outside. Next stop, Bowden.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, well, maybe I should buy the kid something, too. Come on, you can help me pick out the
That's
sizes.
silly. I bought him everything he could possibly use.
I could always use more, Mother. You know, there's cottons for the summer, flannels for the winter. You know how those kids grow. Come on. Now, let me play Santa Claus, too.
Victoria! Victoria, have you heard? Jeff Bowden's escaped. They've trapped him in the schoolhouse. Our Henny's there. And your Audra, too. Arthur, get your coat. Hurry.
How dared you? How dared you keep this from me?
Well, Jared and I both thought
Next
that...
time, let me do my own thinking.
You just gonna stand around thinking?
You want Bowden so bad? Bring him out yourself.
I'm no hand with a gun.
You're real fast with ours.
Sam, you can hardly blame him. Your son's out here. His kid's in that school, along with a lot of others.
I don't owe him nothing. None of 'em. You liked it fine when I told what I knew, when I stood in the court and testified knowing that Bowden would hold a grudge. Well, I done enough of this town. I ain't doing no more. He's a killer. I ain't setting myself up for him. Now, he's there. You gotta get him out. Somebody. Some way.
Fred, I think I can get him to come out.
No, Jared. He's trapped, and he could be dangerous. Besides, it's not your job.
It was my job to keep him from being where he is.
Pa, you said...
Not now.
I'm going in, Fred.
Jeff, this is Jared Barkley. We know you're in there. I want to talk to you.
Get up. That's it.
Now, don't do anything foolish, Jeff. I only want to help. I'm not armed, Jeff. I'm coming in.
Why, now you hold it right there. Shut that door.
Put your gun up, Jeff.
What do you want?
To help you if I can.
You tried that once, lawyer.
Don't be a fool, Jeff. You're throwing away the only chance you have. Can't you see that you're throwing away your life for Becker's?
Becker?
I'll get this straight. If you kill Becker, a dozen lawyers won't be able to help you. You'll hang.
Oh, now, you got it all wrong. That's not it at all. No, you're the one that's mixed up. You know why I come back here? I come back here to see my kid. That's right, see my kid. I've been waiting 12 years. Since the day we was married, 12 years, my wife's been hoping and praying for a young'un to hold in her arms. So we wouldn't be alone in this world. So it would matter to somebody what happened to us. Now, Miss Haley, she said the baby'd be born any minute. And I begged that sheriff to let me wait so I could see my kid, maybe touch him. But he said no. It was out of his hands.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I wish you'd spoken to me about it.
Nothing you could do.
Well, there may be something I can do now.
What?
If I help you get over to your place so you can see your child, will you give me your word you'll surrender afterwards?
All right, you got it.
All right, now you've got to do exactly as I say. Audra, you get over here. The back way is our only chance.
Awful quiet. Think we should go in and see?
Not yet. Give Jared a chance.
Marty! Alec! Come on in. It's all over.
Both of you, put your hands up.
Where's Jared?
He's in the school.
Been in there quite a while.
Nick! Victoria, please, stay
No.
here. Don't go.
They're in the closet.
Who's in the closet?
The sheriff's men.
Where's Jared? Bowden put a gun on our backs.
With your brother helping.
Well, somebody tell me what's going on around here. Where'd they go?
We went to Bowden's house.
Nick, he just wanted to see the baby.
Jeff, come on.
Oh, Mr. Bowden, just in time. She kept asking for you through the whole thing. And once they get started, ain't nothing can stop them. You got a boy.
Boy?
A boy.
My wife?
Oh, she's fine. A little weak, of course. Well, you can go in. I knew you'd be here.
I always promised you. And him? Small.
Just feel how he holds on. He's gonna have strong hands, just like his pa.
That's right, boy. You hang on. Don't you never let go. Don't you never let go of me, and I ain't never gonna let go of you. But believe them fingers gonna be big enough someday to hold on to an axe or gun.
His pa's gonna show him how.
You sure of that?
Jeff. Sorry, Jeff, it's time.
You gotta take me back?
You know I do.
Why, you know I'm innocent.
Not under the law.
Look, why don't you tell them I held a gun on you? Knocked you out, got away. My wife will back you up. Now, you kept saying about justice. Now, wouldn't that be justice, helping a man that's innocent? Not letting him pay for something he never done?
I can't.
Look, what you want me to do? Rot up there in that jail, not ever see my wife or my kid no more?
I want you to give yourself a chance. Give me a chance.
Wouldn't do no good no more than before. Look, I know you tried. And I'm thankful to you for it. But you said they wouldn't hold me guilty. They didn't have no case. Well, mister, they didn't want no case. They just wanted to pay somebody off for that priest. Now, I had my fill of the law, Mr. Barkley. I ain't gonna take no more. I'm pulling out. And I'm going with your helping me, or without. Now, what's it gonna be?
Without.
All right, then. Just don't you stand in my way.
Jeff!
Oh, no, Jeff!
Let me talk to him. Jeff, you're wrong. You've got to listen to me. You've got a lot to live for now, a lot. Jeff, you've got a son. Now, you can't just think of yourself now. You've got a wife and a family, Jeff, a boy. They need you. Now, come on, Jeff. Give me the gun. You won't be any good to them dead. Come on, I can explain it to the sheriff.
Your friend, the sheriff. You had him waiting for me.
Jeff, that's not true. You've got to believe me.
No more.
He's dead.
You did the best you could, Jared.
We'd best be going on home. It's all over now.
It's not over, Nick. Not yet.
He's dead.
Yes, he's dead. Mrs. Bowden, I thought I knew your husband. Knew him better than any court of law could ever know him. But I was wrong, wasn't I?
No.
A moment ago, he meant to gun me down.
He was trying to get away.
The same way he was trying to get away from Father Paul. The truth only matters to me now, Mrs. Bowden.
He was like to going out of his mind. Baby coming. And us strapped for money. And Jeff wanting so much for him. And hearing about that money in the church and swearing he was going to get it. He wouldn't listen to me no more than you. Said the church didn't need the money. Grabbed the gun and run out. He wasn't bad. Just desperate was all. That's the way it is, I guess. It don't matter if you're good on the inside. You do something bad, you gotta pay. That's the law. And the law is right. It's
like being in the middle of a cyclone.
This town is going to have one big headache in the morning.
Sorry, haven't even got a closet left, folks.
Oh, we have a reservation, the Barclays.
Oh, Victoria and Audra. I never forget a reservation.
What is all this?
Cattle, Mrs. Barkley. Cattle, pure and simple. Every rancher with more than one steer is looking to make a sale. Buyers all the way from Denver fighting for the honor of paying top dollar.
Well, congratulations. Tired.
A little.
Is these your bags, ma'am?
Yes, that's right.
Now, if there's anything you ladies want, just holler. Nobody will hear you, but it's good for the lungs.
What time does the connecting stage to Stockton leave?
First thing in the morning. Rooms 3738 for Mrs. Barkley and her daughter.
Thank you.
Excuse me, but you two ladies wouldn't happen to be cattle buyers, would you?
Sorry.
So am I.
Who's got 37?
I do.
I'll be out of your way in a minute.
Well, let me know when you want to have dinner.
In about an hour.
I hope you'll be comfortable, Mrs. Barkley. This door leads directly to your daughter's room.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh. Audra, I'm sorry. I fell asleep at... Audra, why didn't you tell me you changed your room? Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, hello again, ma'am.
I thought this young lady was my daughter. I didn't mean to intrude.
So?
Excuse me.
Yes, Miss Barkley?
Could you please tell me what room my daughter is in now?
Who?
My daughter, Audra.
Your daughter?
Well, she was in 37, the one next to mine, but I was just there and all her clothes are gone.
No, ma'am.
What does that mean?
She wasn't in 37.
Well, of course she was.
That room's been empty for 2 days.
Look, Mr.
Gates. George Gates.
Mr. Gates, I realize everybody's in a playful mood, but I'm just a little too tired to join in. Now, what room is she in?
Mrs. Barkley, I'm not as fresh as a daisy myself, so suppose we both stop playing.
You helped us check in just a few hours ago. A very pretty young girl with long blonde hair.
Mrs. Barkley, if your daughter was in this hotel, she must have come in a suitcase. I never forget a reservation.
That's what you said when we registered.
You won't find her name in there.
Why not?
Because she never signed it.
Where is she?
There must be some mistake.
There is, and you made it.
Mrs. Barkley, your daughter was never in that room or in this hotel. Why don't you get a good rest? Things will look a lot clearer in the morning.
There's one thing you can't remove.
What?
Her perfume. The odor is still in that room.
I was up in that room myself not more than an hour ago. I didn't smell a thing.
I'm sure you didn't, but I did. Now, I know that perfume. I bought it for her. Do I have to go to the sheriff?
Only if you want to cause trouble.
That's exactly what I'm going to do until I find my daughter. See the sheriff.
You're looking at him.
Oh, I need your help.
People come banging through that door this time of night. Usually do.
It's my daughter. She's missing.
Lady, half the world's missing something. The other half looking for it.
Something has happened to her.
What?
I don't know. That's why I came here.
Calm down and tell me about it.
Well, we were on our way to Stockton. That's where
Would you like some coffee? Mind if I have some?
Sheriff.
You got the floor.
We registered at the hotel to wait for the next stage. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, Audra's room was empty.
Not your daughter?
Yes, everything was gone. Her suitcase, her clothes, everything. I asked the desk clerk if she had changed her room, and he said he didn't know who I was talking about, that I was alone when I checked in.
Were you?
I just told you.
Well, sometimes a long, hot stage
ride.
ride.
For heaven's sake, Sheriff, I'm not senile.
Well, maybe she found a traveling companion she liked better.
Is that your professional opinion?
Lady, this time...
Victoria Barkley.
All right, Victoria Barkley. Now, right now, this town is high on cattle, and the money that cattle will bring. It's like an avalanche. It don't stop to ask if you want to be part of it. It just kind of sweeps you along.
But they're telling me she doesn't even exist.
Now, why would anyone want...
I don't know!
Well, I just can't go in there.
Sheriff, people. A whole lobby full of people saw us when we checked in. Now, why are you sitting there? Question them. Make them tell you what happened to her. You're the sheriff!
No getting away from that, is there? Let's go.
Satisfied?
No. Well?
I want to look at the room, and I want to talk to...
The porter and housekeeper.
Look, Sheriff, I don't have...
Humor me, George.
Why don't you go out and arrest some drunks? It's more your speed, isn't it?
After I see the room.
Up kind of late, ain't you, Sheriff? Man your age ought to spend as much time as he can resting.
Send up the porter and the housekeeper.
Why?
Because I told you to.
Something going on, Sheriff?
Maybe.
This lady thinks the hotel ought to supply a family as well as clean sheets.
Oh, why don't you go back to bed, Sheriff? I can handle it.
I'm up now, Hearn. I'll see it through.
When you get tired, you holler.
Bring them up to,
37.
Looks empty to me.
Exactly. A whole town is bursting at the seams. People are sleeping all over. Now, why? Why would there be a perfectly good room empty?
You got a point.
This closet. It was empty.
This is Mel Trevor's room. He's been here for the past week. I told her that.
No. This bureau here. But the bureau drawers, the cot, it was empty.
Mrs. Barkley.
It was empty.
All right, in here. I want you to help the lady.
You remember my daughter, don't you?
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you do. You brought her bag in here, and you put mine in the other room.
Yes, ma'am.
There.
You gave me $1.
That's right.
I thought it was a lot of money for bringing up one bag.
Oh, no, two. Two bags.
No, ma'am. One bag. Yours. I left it in room 38.
Annie, did you see the lady's daughter?
You were turning down the bed when we came in.
I haven't worked this floor all day.
But you talked to us. You smiled. You saw her. All of you saw her. You tell him. Tell him you're lying. What are you doing to me? What are you trying to do to me?
I'll be in the lobby.
Having a good laugh with your friends over the feeble-minded lady from Stockton?
Maybe somebody down there has seen your daughter.
Then you believe me.
I didn't say that.
Why, help me.
As you said, I'm the sheriff.
I'll go with you.
Get some rest.
I can't.
You come on as strong as you did up here, and people are bound to back off.
Oh, I won't, I promise you. Oh, please, she's my daughter.
All right. Just remember, you dragged me over here to ask the questions.
Tired yet, Pop?
I'll let you know. Hungry?
Oh,
When's the last time you ate?
that doesn't seem very important now.
Things always look better on a full stomach. Take it from someone who's put in a lot of hungry hours.
Come on now, Sheriff. Don't be a hog. Introduce us.
We've met.
Not formally, ma'am.
It seems you two have adjoining rooms.
Well, now that's cozy, isn't it?
What room would that be, Mel?
Well, I'll tell you, Sheriff. You asked me to sit down, and maybe I'll let you force it out of me. My name is Mel Trevor, ma'am.
The sheriff asked you what room you were in.
37.
I didn't know you were staying in town, Mel.
And I didn't know I had to tell you every move I made, Sheriff.
Just making conversation. How long's it been?
I'll tell you what.
Why don't you give me a refill? Give the lady what she wants and give us a chance to get acquainted.
Gotta keep asking until you answer, Mel. How long have you been here?
Oh, about a week, on or off.
Get lonesome at the ranch?
Listen, I got 4,000 head of cattle out there. Bidding starts tomorrow. I gotta line up the best prices I can going in. Oh, by the way, you ought to be at the pens by dawn.
Don't think I can make it.
Why not?
Might have something a little more important than keeping the peace for a bunch of steers.
There is nothing more important in this town than steers. If anybody ought to know that, it's you. Ma'am, do you have any children?
3 sons and a daughter.
Well, maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about. Cattle are a lot like some children. You spend your life taking care of them because they don't have enough sense to take care of themselves. You worry about their weight, what they eat, whether they're warm enough in the winter, cool enough in the summer. You don't really have much time for anything else. But if they grow into what you want them to be, why, I guess it was all worth it.
Where is she?
I beg your pardon, ma'am.
Well, you're obviously in on it.
Sheriff, what is she talking about?
I thought I was supposed to ask the questions.
But you're not. You're just chatting.
One swallow, that's the deal.
Well, if you let me in on this, ma'am, maybe I can help.
Steady as she goes, sailor.
Oh, he ain't no sailor, ma'am. He's just a plain everyday range bob.
Why didn't you say some of that?
You thirsty, lady?
No, but my daughter might be.
Who?
The pretty blonde you danced with a few hours ago.
Frank, did I dance with a blonde girl?
Well, if you did, you sure kept it from your best friend.
You know who I mean.
No, ma'am, I don't. Once you bring her on over, I know I'd like her.
Now, what did that get you?
Is the whole town in on this? Why? What did we do?
Why don't you sit down?
What did we do to them? What did we do to them? Now you listen to me. You listen to me. My name is Victoria Barkley. My daughter's name is Audra Barkley. Now, she's missing. And a lot of you know what happened to her. And I'm going to find her. You think because I'm a woman that I'll give up, that I'll turn and run? Well, I won't. So you better get used to me. I'm staying right here until I find my daughter. I'm not leaving here until I find her, and I warn you. I warn you. She better not be hurt.
I'm a doctor, Miss Barkley. Try to calm yourself.
Get her up to her room.
No! No!
Let her be, Hearn.
She's giving the hotel a bad name.
Well, it's better than the one it's got. Now, it's all right, Mrs. Barkley.
No! Oh, no.
I'm going to give you something to help you rest.
No, I don't want to rest.
Now, listen to me, ma'am. Just listen. Now, just dry your eyes and relax.
No.
Let her alone. Let her alone.
You're in on this, too.
What are they? It's all right, folks. It's all right. The lady's a little disturbed. The doc will take care of her. Hey, go ahead with what you're doing. stage is here. They're holding it for you.
Let it go. I'm not leaving.
We need the room.
Forgot your bag.
I found somebody who knows Audrey was with me.
Thought we had that all settled.
The stage driver. He drove us all the way from Salt Springs. Where is he?
There he is.
Oh, no, not him.
Oh, you mean that tall,
Yes,
burly-headed?
yes.
Yeah, he's halfway to Denver by now.
Yes, but he knows Audrey.
I don't know what the doctor gave you, but it really worked. You slept clear through, Mrs. Barkley. You're a day behind the rest of us.
Where's the sheriff?
Well, most folks come to me with their problems.
I'll take my chances with him.
He can't do nothing for you. He's a tired old man. Well, he gets out of breath just pulling on his boots. Now, let's go back to the hotel and pack your bags and make sure you're on this stage.
Got your ticket, Mrs. Barkley? You'll need it for the stage.
How many ways do I have to say it? I am not leaving. Yes, I have my ticket. Yes, I have my ticket, and I have Audrey's. Now, if I were traveling alone, why would I have 2 tickets to the same place?
Can you answer the lady's question, Hearn? Neither can I.
Now do you believe me?
Well, let's just say I don't doubt you so much.
All right, where do we start?
Guess the best place would be where you lost her. A hotel.
You won't find nothing there except trouble.
What kind of trouble, Hearn?
Kind you can't afford.
Man can afford most anything when he's got nothing to lose.
Well, how about the lady here? From where I'm standing, looks like she's got a lot to lose. Awful lot.
Let's go.
Oh, you're going all right. You just might have company.
It's nice and quiet for a change. Bidding started today. Everybody's out at the pens, where I ought to be.
Mr. Trevor's looking for you.
Not a fact.
I want you out at the pens.
Later.
You won't like that.
I'm not one of Mel Trevor's steers.
Aren't you?
You know, George, something's nagging at me.
Well, the doc is in room 7.
It's a riddle. A real puzzler.
Not interested.
You're part of it.
Still not interested.
Now, you said that Mrs. Barkley's daughter didn't register, so she was never in this hotel.
That's right.
Everybody who stays in this hotel must register, right?
That's the rule, Sheriff.
Mel Trevor's name ain't in your book. Does that mean he was never in this hotel?
He didn't have to sign the register.
It's the rule, Mr. Gates.
Maybe in all the rush to get his things into the girl's room, it just slipped everybody's mind.
Excuse me, I have work to do.
I hope you can do it in my office, George.
What?
You're under arrest.
On what charge?
Keeping sloppy books.
You can't do that.
Watch me.
I'm not going, Sheriff.
Well, after what you've told me, you need protection.
I didn't tell you anything.
Didn't you?
No.
You're a very nervous man, George. Everybody knows that.
No, yeah.
Least little pressure, and you just break wide open. But you're my possum. I'm going to dangle you at the end of my rope and see what starts nibbling.
I just do what I'm told. I hand out the keys and I sort the mail. And I laugh when someone tells a joke that I've heard 100 times, because that's what I am. I'm a desk clerk. It isn't much of a life, but it's all I've got. Please don't take it away from me.
And where is she?
You understand? They'll kill me.
If you don't scare yourself to death first.
No. No, no. No!
George!
No!
We're just in the line of duty, Sheriff. Can't take chances with a man running from the law.
Or talking to it.
Well, lucky thing you weren't first out the door. Or you, little lady.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
You know, that was a warning. They was telling everybody to keep quiet or they'd wind up like Gates. And they was telling us to back off or we'd wind up that way.
Sheriff, if the whole town is in on this, why didn't they tell you about it?
Guess maybe they figured if I knew, I wouldn't sound too convincing. Well, that's only part of it. More important, they knew I wouldn't do nothing if I did believe you.
They were wrong.
Not by much. Last night, you said they thought you'd turn and run because you was a woman. You don't have to wear skirts to do that. It's just what I want to do. Get out to those pens and mine Mel Trevor's cattle for him.
They don't think very much of you, do they? I mean, the deputy, Trevor, and all the rest.
They got a right. You see, this town, this territory makes its living off of cattle. Prime stock bringing prime prices. When the bidding's over and the money's been collected, everybody puts it in the bank for safekeeping.
You don't have to tell me.
You ought to know who you're getting stuck with. Last year, 3 men made a withdrawal, using their guns for collateral. They cut the bank clerk down because his hands were shaking so bad he couldn't load the money fast enough. He was about my age, and he was an old man, no match for the 3 of them. Looking down at him, I knew I wasn't either. And it froze me. The first time in my life, I was scared of dying. I got on my horse, and I rode the other way. So the ranchers formed a posse, but they'd waited too long for me to lead them. They come up empty, and those 3 fellas ain't been found yet.
But you're still a sheriff.
When I got back, they wanted to lynch me. Sometimes I wish they had. Instead, they hired Hearn to be my deputy and told him he'd be sheriff when my term was up. I got 3 months to go.
Then what?
I was a pretty good sheriff once. The town voted me the use of 25 acres near the river. That totals out about an acre a year. It's Trevor's land.
And he can take it back.
Anytime he wants.
He's part of all this.
Well, now, that's my worry. Why don't you go back to the hotel? I'll be close by.
I practically know your life story, but I don't know your name.
It's Kingston, ma'am. Roy Kingston.
I'm very pleased to know you, Mr. Kingston.
Sure hope you say that when this is all over.
Who is it?
Kingston.
Sheriff, I know where Audra is.
So do I.
Trevor, now he gave me this handkerchief last night. It has Audra's perfume on it.
I wired Stockton
Didn't you
last
hear
night.
me?
This
Trevor
just came...
has Audra.
Read it.
Don't you? Oh, no. No, that's a lie.
Oh, your son's name's Jared, isn't it?
Yes, but they're telling...
Audra, safe and sound. Tell Mother to hurry home. We all miss her. Signed, Jared Barkley.
They finally got to you too, didn't they?
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, Audrey. Oh, why? Why did you do this to me?
Mrs. Barkley?
He's done this before.
Done what?
Run away.
Your daughter ran away?
In Salt Springs, the last stop we made. I refused to believe it because I didn't want to believe it. It's very hard sometimes for a mother to admit the truth about her daughter, but
Well, it's not so bad. After all, she's home now. Everything's all right.
yes. Yes, she's home. And I want to go home, too. What time does the next stage leave?
Couple of hours.
I'll be on.
You sure?
I just want to go home.
I'm sorry I caused all this trouble.
Oh, we understand, Mrs. Barkley.
It was foolish of me.
Well, we all let our imaginations run away from us sometime.
Sheriff, thank you. Thank you very much for everything.
Hey! Hey! Well, Roy, everything's fine, and nobody got hurt.
You don't count Gates.
I don't.
That strained your elbow, you keep bending it like that, Roy.
Mrs. Barkley's still stuck in his craw.
We had to do it, you know that.
Sure, I know that.
And why fight it? It'll be over soon.
That's supposed to make it any easier?
Keep your voice down.
Oh, come on, Mel. We don't have any secrets around here. We're just one big, happy family.
Listen to me, you drunken bum. In 3 months, you're gonna come crawling to me begging for those 25 acres.
Trying to forget that.
Well, don't you forget it. Because I can still say no. Look at you. You're an old man. What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go without me, without my land, without my charity?
Think that over.
I'll be in the office.
Sheriff. Don't fall apart again, because there'll be nobody around to pick up the pieces.
We should have taken care of him a long time ago.
You'll get his badge soon enough.
Is this her food?
Yes, Doctor.
Where's Mr. Trevor?
I don't know.
All right, we'll take the tray on down to her.
I'm not going down there.
Take it down. What's the hurry?
I thought you left town.
I forgot something.
What?
Something I left with the porter. Excuse me.
I think we'd better tell the sheriff.
Yeah, good idea.
Audrey. 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 Oh, what did they do to you? What did they...
I don't see why we have to move her.
Doc says one more night down here might finish her.
But supposing somebody sees us?
Everybody's drunk and tired. All we have to do is be careful.
There she's gone.
She couldn't have gone far. Not in her condition.
You couldn't even buy your own lie.
Oh, please, please, let us go. She's very ill.
So are you, Mrs. Barkley. Don't hold out too much hope for your recovery.
You're not like them.
Look again.
You let go of that thing, you'll wake up everybody.
Right. We'll take him out of town. Nobody will hear anything out at the Ophir mine.
Well, keep him out of circulation for a few days. That was the deal.
Mrs. Barkley just canceled that deal. She's one of the most respected women in the state. When she talks, everybody listens.
But you just can't kill two people.
Well, how can we kill them, Roy? Mrs. Barkley left town hours ago. Her daughter wasn't even here. Isn't that what she told you?
Yeah, but...
We don't know where they went. Nobody else will either.
Oh, you're quite a businessman, aren't you, Mr. Trevor? Tell me, how do you buy a man's soul for 25 acres of land near the river?
That's all I've got.
But is it all you want?
Get the rig and bring it out back. Unlock the rear door.
Go ahead, Sheriff. Go ahead, do it. Pretend we never existed. You can do that. What do two strangers mean to a man who doesn't even care about himself? All it takes is...
Shut up!
Oh!
Back off, Mel! Get the rig! That's as hard as you go, Hearn.
trying to save herself.
That's what we're all trying to do, ain't it?
Roy, the girl has anthrax. You know what that means. Nobody will touch our cattle. We'll be right back where we were a year ago, starving to death.
A full belly ain't worth their lives.
A few more days, it'll all be over. Cattle would be sold, and nobody would know.
I'll know, Mel.
Stay put.
I feel fine.
You'll feel even better when Nick and Jared get here tomorrow, if you stay put.
What am I going to do with her?
Listen.
Did I give the cattle anthrax?
No, ma'am. Humans can't give it.
No, they can only get it.
Well, then why did they kidnap me?
If the buyers knew there was anthrax in the area, they wouldn't touch those cattle. The cattlemen around here'd go broke.
Why didn't you tell me you were ill, Audra?
Well, I thought I was only tired from the trip. And I didn't want to worry you, so I asked the desk clerk to send up the doctor. After he examined me, he gave me a shot, and I went to sleep and woke up in that cellar.
Well, it's over now. And as long as we have to stay here for a couple of days, we might as well be comfortable.
I'll see you before you leave.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank your mother. She's got a painful sense of right and wrong.
Are you sorry?
No. Gave me another chance. Another 3 fellas riding around out there with something that don't belong to them. And I got 3 months to get it back.
You will, Sheriff.
I think you're right. Now.